So, anybody that knows me knows that I love action RPGs. You know what I mean? I love these games. Like the whole side scroller beat 'em up, just killing tons of mobs and stuff like that. Not have to worry too much about quests or anything like that. Diablo, Path of Exile, Torchlight, Grim Dawn, all those type of games. So a long time ago, I made a video for Marvel Heroes and calling some of the veterans crybabies. Um, it was more of a I felt that people were crying before the updates and stuff like that were done, and I remember some people quite clearly stating that they didn't want to be beta testers, and my reply to that argument was in an online game the game is never done, so you can expect things to be updated. Now here's where things like started to turn tables for me, and I started to like fully understand where people were coming from. And apparently you guys have dealt with this before, and I haven't, being new to Marvel Heroes at the time. Well, I wasn't exactly new, but I was definitely not like years into it like some of you other guys. So everyone knows a while back, you know, what kind of killed Diablo 3. It was them neglecting the game and not updating it for damn near a year, and maybe a little bit more than a year, and then out of nowhere announcing a console port. Now, normally, I wouldn't care that, Marvel went and, had a console port and everything, but I feel that why would they do it in the middle of updating our game? So I feel like they kind of did the same thing Diablo did, but they're not Blizzard. You know what I'm saying? Like, Blizzard, it's funny because Diablo 3 is still trying to recover from that, from them neglecting the game for that long period of time with no updates and stuff like that. And most people that play Diablo 3 play World of Warcraft, and on World of Warcraft, what are we getting? We're getting like a new update and new content every 2 to 3 months and stuff like that. So we had Diablo, and we're just sitting there for months and months and months, and damn near a year with no update. And I kind of felt betrayed. It's like you guys ninja'd this console port out, without even, finishing our updates and shit. And it's like, I've kind of felt some type of way about it. And as a content creator, when you're making videos and stuff like that, and the game is still being updated and changed around, you know what I mean? Like it got to a point where it felt like the devs didn't know, like they didn't have their own idea of their own game, and they were relying on fans a little bit way too much. They're like, oh, we want to get nothing but feedback, and it's good to be transparent with the people, but that's something that they were definitely not, because they could have told us that, hey, we got a console port on the way for people that love consoles or something like that, and they could have announced that way before they even started the biggest update ever, and things would have been a little bit more understanding. But people get hit with these random things, and a lot of people expect, a lot of people at first, when a console force port first came out, were on the forums raging, thinking that, oh, the console port was the biggest update ever, port, and that we were all going to have to play console to get the new stuff. you know that's that's not you guys' fault for thinking that. I don't care who you are. I don't care, how new you were to the game. It's the developer's fault that people even thought that to begin with, for the lack of communication. These guys, and I know I'm not normally a negative person at all, but man, these guys really put their foot in their ass on this. And when I was making videos after the update, trying to like inform people or show people that characters weren't worthless and stuff like that, and those videos were doing okay. Those videos weren't doing too bad or whatever, like, the certain characters versus the Cosmic, Ultron or whatever, because at the time, Cosmic Ultron was hard as hell. He was like one shot in a lot of characters, and I felt he was a good, he was a good example or whatever to show, that characters weren't worthless and stuff like that. But it seemed like every time I would make a video, you know what I mean, I would get bombarded like the next week, literally, saying that, oh, this build, this character, you can't do this anymore because they changed it. They were changing things so frequently, and it was like a back and forth thing. It wasn't like, all right, we're gonna change this character, we're gonna fix him up, and that's gonna be it or whatever. Like they're like, they'll come back a couple weeks later and then change the character again. And people are like, how are you, doing spin to win so much like that on the thing and stuff like that. And it was just very aggravating for me to have to like really deal with that type of stuff, and so I didn't really know what kind of content could I make going forward, you know what I mean? So that's what kind of got me to slow down, on making Marvel videos. And it's like, okay, well, maybe I need to make some other type of videos, just to wait for them to finish the update. So I'm like, okay, you guys are updating the game. I'm gonna give you guys like, a month or so, maybe 2 months, and then I'll come back and I'll start pumping out content and everything. And a month or two pass, and the game is still being updated and stuff like that, and I'm like, all right, well, at least they didn't stop, updating the PC version. The things that they were changing were kind of like minor. They're still trying to like balance out characters and all that stuff, and that's fine. Then the console thing was announced, Marvel Heroes Omega and stuff like that, and that's when I felt really betrayed, because I'm like, okay, well, you guys should have made sure that PC was straight first. We shouldn't have had to wait so long for, thinking that, oh, maybe the characters are a little bit fucked up right now because we don't have the new gear. So, like, this is the thing that, like, trips me out. So this new gear that we're apparently supposed to get, I'm not sure on if it was canceled or whatever. This gear called Omega Gear and stuff like that is nowhere to be found. You know what I mean? And we're still, like, I don't know if people are still waiting for it. I'm not. I'm like, at this point, I'm just like, man, the game just is what it is now. Like, I don't really know. I don't know how much of a future Marvel Heroes have. Like, the whole, them going to console, and, most people that's playing on console are complaining that there's no content over there either. And, well, of course there's no content because they didn't just port the fucking game over. They tried to make a whole nother game. They tried to do the same shit Diablo did and failed at. You know what I mean? At least Diablo console felt fun, and, this is just, I don't really even know what to say. It gave console players the same game as we had. Just like Warframe. And when Warframe did their console port, everything was smooth. Warframe never neglected their PC players, the people that they started with. You know what I mean? Their bread and butter. And that's what we are as their PC players and shit. Like, you have people talking about, oh man, I don't want to re-roll console, and you shouldn't have to. That's downright ridiculous. So I just really hope they get their shit together, because this is a really dope game, man, and I fell in love with it the first day I played this game, and it sucks that I'm just like, I can't even like bring myself to make videos anymore of it, just because shit's changing. Shit was changing at one point so much, it was just like I was just tired of it. And I don't do build guide videos, you know what I mean? I'm more of like, oh, I'm going to help newer players or whatever figure out the game. But shit, how am I going to help you guys figure out the game when we can't even figure out the game because the devs can't even figure out the game? You know what I mean? So I just think that they're looking too much into the community for information and stuff like that, rather than going with their own plan, with their own, idea and dreams of what type of game they wanted to create, and now they're just purely relying on us to try to say, you know, oh, what works. And then the console port, I think that was kind of like a money grab. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like, oh no, this game is starting to like fade a little bit. We got to figure out something. Well, we got a couple options. We can go with trying to get on Steam, you know what I mean? Which they're already on Steam, so they already had their massive Steam thing. And if a game's on Steam, and you know people start falling off of it and stuff like that, or it doesn't do so well, whatever, after being on Steam, then there's not much to really say about a game because Steam is a monster. Like I've seen games be almost completely dead, you know what I mean, and get on Steam and somehow like games that are just crap games and just like survive off the strength of Steam alone. You know what I mean? So I really hope they get their stuff together and you know, really moral of the story, guys, they I feel betrayed. You know what I mean? I feel that there should have never been a console port without them fully finishing the update, the biggest update ever on PC. Everything should have been laid out and perfected on PC and then ported over to console, and they would have had a better in game. Like, you know what I mean? Like the company would have did better, the game would have did better. You know what I mean? Like, and the whole them changing, another reason which made it really hard to make videos and stuff like that, is them changing Marvel Heroes to Marvel Heroes Omega in such a weird way. So now everyone's thinking that, okay, well, console port is Marvel Heroes Omega and stuff like that, and the PC port is just Marvel Heroes. And you know, a thing is, like, because they did that change or whatever, and we thought that, like, people that play on a console, you know, are not gonna look up our videos. Like, so the videos that I make or whatever, you know, maybe to help people to say, hey, when you hit level 60 you should raid and stuff like that, were just worthless. You know what I mean? Because people, and first of all, I don't even know if it's, I heard console is so different from this. Like, our videos don't even really matter. Like, they don't even have sidekicks on console. You know, console is, I guess they tried to make console a completely kind of different game, which is stupid in their part because they should have just named it something completely else other than Marvel Heroes. You know, maybe like Marvel fucking trying, or I don't know, you know. But this rant is, I just wanted to clear some things up with a lot of people now. And mind you, I said this is why I stopped making videos for them. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that I'm not going to make videos in the future of Marvel Heroes. It doesn't mean that I have stopped playing the game, because I still jump back in it or whatever, and every once in a while. But to be honest, I just wanted to get that off my chest and why I was frustrated with the game, you know. And that's why I felt like they abandoned us when they did the console thing. And I'm not jealous that there's a console port or anything like that. I just feel that you should take care of your you know, first priorities. You know, I feel like PC's first priority, and I feel like they didn't take care of us before they decided to, you know, make a whole new game or a break off of Marvel Heroes on console and think that, you know, it was okay to just let us sit here and wait for fucking Omega Gear and updates, you know. So this is King Vox, and I'm out. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. And I'm sorry for such a negative video or whatever, but man, this is just my rant. And you know what, man, this is just what it is.